Why, hello everyone and welcome back to NieR Automata Story Mode on PlayFrame. Just a few stories left and then we're back to the story again. That's confusing when said out loud. To clarify, I've got a little bit of weapon story reading left to do for you, and then we are going to go and try to get the next ending, which, as I understand it, I was correct. I need to go through that whole kind of finale stretch again, and but at the end choose 9S instead of A2. But that can happen after we do our reading, which I worked very hard for us to be able to do. So let's take advantage of this, huh? Starting with the small swords, and Faith, a sword wielded by a loyal attendant. Oh, I did find that if you go to details in this particular menu, you can see more about the weapon, and also it does tell you what those special abilities are, which, quite nice. Not that it's that important at this point, but still, nice to finally know that. Anyway. In the capital of a distant eastern land, there lived a poet who was devoted to his art. But his words failed to touch the hearts of the people, and he could make no profit from them. Soon, his life became unbearably hard. Seeing the limits of his talent, the poet chose to abandon the pen and work the land instead. Soon his lily-white skin began to grow dark, and his once frail body became sinewy and tough. He eventually married a kind woman, and several years later they had a child. As the peaceful, uneventful days went on, the man began to feel that there could be no greater happiness in life. Or so the poet wrote before he put down his pen, swallowed the paper whole, and prayed that the next life might turn out so well. He then took Faith, already stained with the blood of another, and plunged it deep into his chest. These are also neat because you can hide the text and see custom artwork for each one, which is kind of cool. Anyway, the iron pipe, which I did fish out of the sewer, and is basically the starting weapon of NieR Replicant, which is cute. Dad, if you're cold, I can give you my hat. You're the best father in the world, after all. Dad, if you're hungry, you can have my cookie. You're my favorite person in the world, after all. Dad, if you're scared, I can sleep by your side. You're my closest friend in the world, after all. So please don't go anywhere, all right, Dad? Don't leave your Yona all alone, okay? Interesting that they took that one and did the father-daughter angle this time. Just interesting. Beastbane. Once upon a time, there were 3 princesses. The middle princess wasn't very bright, but was renowned by all as a great beauty. Once she came of age, she was married off to the king of a neighboring nation. The neighboring king adored his new wife and treasured her looks above all else. He gave the middle princess 6 new dresses and 8 fresh flowers every day, and his love caused her beauty to shine all the more. The middle princess did all she could to remain beautiful for her king, but she knew time would eventually catch up with her, as it did for all. So, after much hard thought, she developed a cunning plan. The middle princess had herself stuffed and mounted so she could remain beautiful for all time. The king wept joyful tears at the sight, but alas, 2 years later, war broke out, and her body was crushed under the rubble of the castle. I guess I should go ahead and, anyone who's watched this far is well aware that NieR stories go dark, but I guess, for the remainder of the reading, just content warning for bummers and probably, extremely upsetting stories and plot points of all kinds. I will timestamp down in the description when the weapon story segment is over and we're back to the gameplay, where you can get to the other very upsetting stuff that NieR throws at you. But if for whatever reason the weapon stories are a little too much for you, feel free to skip ahead. The Phoenix Dagger. A girl lay there on the day of her wedding. Her parents and beloved were dead, and she herself had been violated in front of their corpses. As she swore to kill those who had done this terrible deed, a shining songbird appeared. "Allow me to grant your wish," said the bird. "Wish upon this dagger and never forget this hatred that you feel." The girl grasped the weapon and spat out a tearful curse. "I vow not to forget. Please, give them a painful death." Time passed, and eventually she got her revenge. Years later, when she was an old woman, the songbird appeared anew. "What of your vow?" it asked. But she did not understand. And come to think of it, what became of her beloved dagger? That night, bandits broke into her house, assaulted her daughter, and murdered her grandchild. The songbird then reappeared with a single question. "How long will your hatred burn this time?" This art is really neat for these, though. I'm impressed that they made a custom image for every one of these weapons' stories. Ancient Overlord. One day, a young girl's village was sacked by bandits. To protect her family, she took up a dagger her father had found in the mountains and killed one of them, an act that shocked her family. But the bandits fled, never to return. 5 years passed, then 10, then 20. Though the family she protected began to grow old, the girl never aged. Eventually, the other villagers began to shun her. With no one left to turn to, she finally left her village and began to wander the earth, visiting many strange lands in the process. As the years passed, her skill and fame as a master sword fighter grew to legend. Eternal life, a powerful weapon, and boundless experience. She used these talents to become a queen of a nation. And yet there was emptiness in her life, for she still desired the kindness her family denied her after that fateful day. The Type 40 Sword. Yorha R&D Team Journal, August 29th. Held a progress report meeting for the new weapon. Considering how many observers we have from the other orbiting satellites, I can tell they expect a lot from us. Team Journal, December 10th. We had our first core installation experiment today. Saw some troubling signs, including issues with unexpected irregular output and core perimeter defenses. January 8th. The circuits of 3 consecutive staffers burned out after attempting to remove the core's protection. I've requested replacement personnel. January 15th. Command pulled the plug on our project. The weapon will go into official operation with the core still sealed. Interesting. The Type 3 Sword. No, don't equip. Story. The craftsman's weapons were neither flashy nor attractive, but they never once failed in battle. This reliability afforded him a never-ending stream of loyal clients. Yet something nagged at the craftsman. Though he'd forged many a weapon, he'd only tested them on pigs and cows. He wondered what it might feel like to use them on another human being. The craftsman took a sword to a battlefield and slashed at corpses, disappointed at how easily the sword slid through them. It wasn't satisfying at all. He wanted to really feel like he was ripping through flesh. The craftsman modified a sword in search of that feeling, not thinking at all of the pain it would cause, until one night, a bandit broke into his home, snatched the weapon up, and showed him exactly how effective it was. Let's see. I need some tea, hang on. Whew, just gonna keep that nearby. Gonna need it. The Virtuous Contract. How long can I fight amidst this bloody vortex of a battlefield? How long, I wonder? How long can I continue to protect what I love amidst this endless war? How long, I wonder? How long can I continue to believe in a world laden with deceit and folly? How long, I wonder? How long can I lie to myself as I despair at the dark future of this world? How long, I wonder? Wait, no, the art of those two. Cruel Oath. Once, long ago, there was a group of 7 boys who were born in the same village. Though they were not brothers by blood, they treated each other as family. One cold night, a fortune teller appeared and warned of a traitor among them. The boys laughed it off and went about their business, but the next morning, one of them lay dead. With each passing night, another boy died. The survivors grew more and more suspicious of each other, each harboring terrible doubts about what happened to their brothers. On the morning of the 7th day, a single survivor stood tall. Cleaning the blood from his hands, he chuckled to himself. Better go find the traitor. Same art as the last one, which I guess kind of makes sense. The Yorha Issue Blade. Morning, listeners. It's time to kick off another installment of Listener Letters with your favorite radio idol, DJ 24D. 24D, probably. Now let's get this day started right, shall we? How's it going, listeners? Yeah, I know. You're all still thinking about that cleanup operation yesterday, right? We may have lost a lot of good people, but it's still our job to get up and at 'em, right? Howdy, listeners. Your favorite radio idol, DJ24D, hasn't been receiving many letters lately. Don't you like me anymore? Or maybe no one's even listening? Anyway, who's ready to kick things off? Hello? Is anyone there? Is this thing even on? It's me, radio listeners, 24D. I'm an idol, remember? An idol. An idol, 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 an idol. Doing great up there, seems like. Machine sword. The more old records I read, the more fascinated I became by the species known as humans. We machines must do all we can to preserve these precious artifacts and continue to record their contents. I see from these records how important predation and reproduction were to human survival, and yet they viewed such acts as sinful. I wonder why. I found a famous human book today, but after reading it 10 times, it still makes no sense to me. What possible attraction could there be to such a thing? Eureka! It seems the answer was in front of me all along. I'm simply incapable of comprehending anything about humanity or the world in general. Ah, how wonderful it is to live in a world swaddled in mystery. Well, I'm happy they're happy. The Engine Blade, which I think this is a Final Fantasy XV tie-in. A small prince rests alone in a vast, vast bedroom. He wishes his father knew how much he hates sleeping alone, but he doesn't dare to tell him, for the king's a very busy man and must not be disturbed. A king sits alone in his vast, vast office, drowning in affairs of state. All he wants is to see his family and hug his son, but he cannot, for his every waking moment must be spent in service of the people. One day, while eating dinner, the king asks his son what he most desires in the world. He hopes he'll say that he wants them to spend more time together, but instead the boy simply points at a sword hanging on the wall. The ancient sword is considered the sign that one is ready to rule. Someday, the king chuckles. His son faintly smiles back at him. All he really wanted was for his father to read him a bedtime story. Yeah, that's definitely a 15 tie-in. Feels very 15. The Cypress Stick, which looks an awful lot like a baseball bat of sorts. I was in a dead sleep when Mom started shouting. "Wakey, wakey," she squawked. "Rise and shine. Today's a very important day. Today's your first visit to the castle." Annoying, right? But I got up anyway. Today's my 16th birthday, and I have an audience with the king. Mum's apparently worried that he'll charge me with some big important task, so she gave me a cypress stick for some reason. Like that'll help. As we walk to the castle, Mom keeps blabbing about how excited she is and how long she's been waiting for this day. She's told me this story 1,000,001 times, so I just keep quiet like always. When we arrive, I see my friend coming out of the castle. He's 16 too, but his fearless gaze makes him look like a legendary hero to be. I'm sure he's got a lot to live up to. My dad's just a carpenter, so I've got it easy. Wonder if that's a tie-in to some sort of thing too. Okay, that's it for the small swords, and that's the weapon set that has the most. I think there's like 13 of those and then 9 of the rest. So let's see. Large swords. The Iron Will. The sword's blade, dulled by years of idleness, was, as its name implied, a mere iron hunk. Its blood-drenched youth was little more than a series of rusted memories which grated against its pockmarked steel. Who could wield this hunk of iron now its edge has gone? Who might love it when all it could do was bash dully against a foe instead of cutting through flesh and bone? Who would devote themselves to such insanity? The sword sighed softly, pleased to finally be at rest. But before it could peacefully crumble into dust, a group of power-hungry fools took it up and denied its reverie anew. Red rust was the weapon's tears. The blood, fat, and muscle it tore through was proof of its curse. Now let it hew bone once more. Let it ravage flesh. Let it do all this and more as atonement for its sins. Okay, so not all these do have unique art. I think there's a lot of art reuse, or maybe there is like each weapon seems to have 4 kind of companion equivalents, or 3 equivalents of each in each weapon category, right? Like 2B has her virtuous whatever small sword, virtuous treaty large sword, there's a virtuous something spear, and a virtuous something fist weapon, or something similar to that thematically. Maybe the art is kind of shared across those. Fang of the Twins. Twin souls were sacrificed to twin gods and bound to an unbreakable dual-bladed axe. Whenever nicked or damaged, it would instantly repair itself. The two blades would never be apart. They would be together for the rest of time. The souls in the blade yearned to be as one, to grow old as one, to fall in love as one. It's why we both love the same person. I am myself. I am myself. Look at me. Look at me. Give me love. Give me love. Stop copying me. I'm not. We are together. We are one. Life or death, even if we kill our foes, even if we kill each other, our two bodies will be as one for all time. Someone separate us. Oh God, please someone help me. Needing some space. Beast Lord. Once upon a time, there were 3 princesses. The eldest princess was thought by all to be the most brilliant woman in the kingdom, and she soon sat upon the throne of her homeland as their queen. The new queen raised a mighty army. To afford the endeavor, she taxed her people, and in turn they were given jobs in new factories created to support the war effort. People worked, money flowed. As the army grew strong, the demand for factories grew with it, and then the cycle repeated. More work, more money. More work, more money. The queen's plan proceeded just as she had envisioned it. To further strengthen the kingdom, we were converted to machines to enhance our output in factories and the military. Our queen in turn became the control system that rules us to this day. Yeah, that image again. So, yeah, like any weapons that sort of share a look or a name and have like stories that are kind of tied together will also share art. That's neat. The Phoenix Sword. One day, a hawk lost its way in the woods. Its proud wings soon grew weak as it tried in vain to find its way home. As death approached, a songbird took pity on the hawk and did its best to offer aid. The songbird slowly nursed the hawk back to health. The beautiful sight of the small white bird nestled in the elegant wings of the hawk soon made it the envy of all the creatures in the forest. When the hawk was fully healed, it knew it was time to leave the forest. But before flying away, it promised the songbird it would one day return. In turn, the songbird gave the hawk one of its shining feathers as a token of friendship. As promised, the hawk eventually returned, but with a human in tow. "Well done," said the human. "These feathers will sell for a great price at the market." Then he slew the songbird in one blow and plucked its carcass clean. Sipping tea. Next up, the Type 4O blade. Development Journal 0504, Takata. I've come up with an incredible idea, something no one's ever done before. I'm going to start testing it out first thing in the morning. 0704, Takata. The boss turned down my idea of infusing metallic alloys with magical elements. Thrice damned fool. Doesn't he see how much money we could make from this? 1201, Takata. Things aren't going well. My hair's falling out. I think it's the stress. Gotta find a way to make this project succeed, and soon. 1215, Fujita. I looked over the data, but couldn't work out the problem. I'm not giving up, though. With Takata dead, it's up to me. I'm the only one who can carry on his work. The Type 3 blade. The great sword was known for the intense pain it inflicted upon its victims. This is what drove the man to carry it despite its weight, for he knew it would make others fear him, and thus would he avoid needless conflict. The man's reputation spread through the village despite never having drawn the blade. "Don't make him use that horrid weapon," the villagers whispered. The man smiled at this, for he knew that fear was the best path to peace. Soon the man had craftsmen forge a host of similar weapons. He gave them to all the other villagers in the hope that it would force people to solve conflicts with words instead of violence, and his plan worked for a while. Keeping all sides in check is simple when no one uses their power, but once that seal is broken, the end is nigh. Thus did the peaceful village transform itself into a living hell over the space of a single night. The Virtuous Treaty. First encounter with my lover. Failed to connect with my lover. Far away went my lover. With death went my lover to eternity. Cruel Blood Oath. I'll never forget the time we met. I knew ours was a love that would last for eternity. But even when by his side, his feelings were a mystery. It was painful not to know what he was thinking. So painful. When I was close, I hurt him. Yet being distant hurt him more. I finally found my place in life, a place where I am as close as possible yet eternally distant. And the last of these, the machine axe. Human fight. Why? Why humans love? Why do humans band together? You. Why are you alive? Couldn't tell you, robot. Or robot's axe. Spears! The Phoenix Lance. Legends tell of a mighty warrior who had no equal in battle. Granted immortality by a phoenix, he wandered from war to war, forever searching for ways to prove his strength. Eventually, the man's immortal body proved too much for his spirit, and he ran himself through with his own spear again and again. But each time he did, the wound closed over itself, leaving not even a scar. He leapt from cliffs, threw himself into raging seas, and lit himself aflame, but nothing worked. Then, one day, he slipped mercifully into unconsciousness, and awoke centuries later to find a songbird on his chest. "You have atoned for your sins," said the bird. "If you wish me to free you from your solitary existence, I will gladly do so." The man wept tears of joy and whispered thanks to the gods, before suddenly stomping the bird to death. Beast Curse. Once upon a time, there were 3 princesses. The youngest princess was widely regarded as the ugliest woman in all the land, but her heart was gentle, honest, and pure. Hoping to aid others in need, the youngest princess would travel to the fields to offer succor to peasants, but they would reject her kindness with cruel words. The youngest princess knew her looks were driving people away, yet she kept donating her life to the service of others, figuring that the fault lied in her own lack of devotion. Day after day, this continued, for years without end. The youngest princess died alone, curled in the back of a damp, wet alley. She was so ugly that no one had the courage to give her a proper burial. Instead, she rotted where she lay, turning ever uglier until she faded into the earth. The Dragoon Lance. I had a dream about the day we met. He was small. He was insignificant. He was weak. Yet he hated the world just as I did. I decided to aid him, and he did the same for me. Thus was our friendship born. It wasn't perfect, of course. Mistakes were made along the way. Still, we remained friends. The blue wind that caresses these grasslands has a pleasing scent. I bring my cheek to his and he twitches, almost as if tickled. Then I spread my wings and let him ride me into the skies above. Spear of the Usurper. In a distant kingdom there lived 2 princes. The son of the queen consort was clever of mind but weak of flesh. The son of the king's second wife was dim-witted, yet charming, and quite gifted in the art of war. Which prince would succeed the throne? When news came down that the king had died in battle, the 2 men each declared themselves the next true king, rallying the people to take the side of one or the other. In the midst of this coronation battle, a third man appeared, claiming to be a prince. Bright, capable, and brave, he dispatched the 2 foolish brothers and went on to become a wise and just king beloved by all. Decades later, the king announced on his deathbed that he wasn't royalty at all, but in fact was the son of a commoner. Upon hearing this revelation, the people stormed the castle and hung their beloved ruler from the rafters. The Type 40 Lance. Hi guys, it's me, 42S, your favorite Yorha Squadron idol from North 12C Defense HQ. I'm here with the latest hot scoops from the front line, so let's get out there and do our best, alright? Go team! Hey ho, Battlefield buddies. I'm not gonna lie here, the current war situation isn't looking too optimistic. But we're expecting reinforcements from our orbiting satellite bases any moment, so don't give up yet. Glory to mankind. Mayday, Mayday, this is Publicity Agent 42S from North 12C Defense HQ. Is anyone listening? Our facility's been completely surrounded by machines. I don't know how much longer we can hold. No broadcast from this channel. It's amusing that, like so many of the Yorha units seem to have these, just some models that just really want to be entertainers and find a way to do it. The Type 3 Lance. The unadorned lance pierces her foes with machine-like accuracy. The grind of metal on bone, in tandem with the pained screams of her victims, creates sweet music in the mercenary girl's ears. Day after day, she returned to the battlefield to compose more music. Here, a giant of a man, fat rippling from his sides. There, a slimmer gentleman whose bones would surely produce a sweeter sound. Who to stab first? The girl fought for an age, stabbing uncountable foes in an effort to find the ideal scream, that sonorous, bone-grinding sound. Yet perfection eluded her no matter how hard she tried. Would she ever find what she sought? Suddenly, she turned to find a fine-looking hunk of meat at her side. Stabbing it produced a scream so pure she couldn't help but smile. She continued to smile as she stabbed, no longer able to recall that the hunk was her own child. Virtuous dignity. The elegant white spear was crafted by a tyrant as a gift for his wife, whose parents he had killed years earlier. She slipped it under the bed they shared, then later used it to run him through 30 times. The spear's second owner was a courageous bandit-fighting mayor. In her later years, her strength faded until one night, a pack of young thugs surrounded her and took all that she had, including her life. The third owner was a greedy merchant who lived to swindle customers. Soon she found herself shunned and penniless, and so decided to hang herself. The unused spear rested in a corner of her home as a decoration. The fourth owner was a meek young boy who wanted to aid his sickly young sister. He gave all to this cause, including his very existence, and that of all else in the world. As with the previous weapon reading in original NieR, I do hope someone hasn't left this playlist on as they've fallen asleep. Because I know some people like to fall asleep to our playthroughs and stuff, and this is probably not going to lead to the best dreams. Cruel arrogance. The dark, hideous lance was crafted by a beautiful female artisan. As people far and wide praised its design, the artisan's apprentice grew jealous and slew her, the lance itself soon vanishing into the mists of time. The lance's second owner was a puppeteer who crafted a clockwork doll capable of doing nearly anything. When he put the lance in the doll's hand, she lashed out and pierced the puppeteer's skull right between the eyes. The third owner was an infant prince who was gifted the lance by the Queen Regent. She died soon thereafter, and on the night of her funeral, the lance vanished from the infant's room, leaving behind only a tiny corpse in the crib. The fourth owner was a simple, honest man who wanted to aid his sickly daughter. He gave all to this cause, including his very existence and that of all else in the world. That's a new piece of art. And the machine spear. My name is Plato 1728. I am a failure of a machine. I was designed for combat, but I can't use weapons. Everyone makes fun of me, and my life is horrible. I am a dumb machine. I got lost during battle and ended up in some kind of factory. I found a whole pile of dolls discarded there. They share the same fate I do. I am a foolish machine. Today I had to fight at the factory. All of the dolls got completely destroyed, crushed by my friends and foes who can do nothing but fight, fight, fight. I activated my cannon and shot everyone there. I'm not sure why I did that. All I know is I decided to fight, because I'm just a stupid, broken machine. Didn't expect Plato to show up in one of the weapon descriptions, especially given I assume this weapon existed in the game before the DLC, so that would have been the first mention of Plato, and then the DLC would have actually gone into Plato more. It's kind of cool. But the final weapon category, combat bracers. Yeah, I didn't figure there was a story to bare fists. Angel's Folly. Once there was a demon who held an affinity for angels. He dreamed of serving alongside them and their god, yet cursed the impossibility of it all. Then, one day, he came to Earth, bringing himself a step closer to heaven. An angel was sent to slay the demon. When the evil one saw his foe, he burst into tears and revealed his plan. "Please," the demon begged, "you must give me a set of white wings for my very own." The angel agreed to trade a set of white wings for the head of another demon. Overjoyed, the demon killed one of his own and plucked the head right off of its still warm body. The angel then led the demon to heaven, where he underwent centuries of the cruelest tortures imaginable. Finally, the pain was so great that he lost consciousness, at which point his dark wings turned the promised shade of white. Demon's Cry. Once, there was a gentle angel who came to Earth to provide salvation for those in need. Whether it was curing illnesses, offering blessings, or cheering the sad, he was always there when needed. The angel, however, provided aid to sinners and non-believers as well, an act which was strictly forbidden. Each time he did so, a single white feather would fall away from his glorious wings. One day, the angel came across a young girl with an illness that pained her deeply. But he could do nothing to help the child, for all his feathers had long since fallen off. The angel cursed both himself and the cruelty of the world. The resulting hatred stained his body and his wings, turning them both black as night. Then, crying tears of blood, he brought his hands to the girl's neck. Just a few more, and thank goodness for my poor voice. Can't wait to let other characters talk for a bit. Type 40 Fists. System Yorha, unit data uploading. Checkout HC. Close IO, duplicate core, find Yorha unit. Updating data, checking data, purge conversation log. Purge unit data, purge system data, exit. Type 3 Fists. The man wailed an inhuman scream as he brought his fist down on his opponent's skull. He brought it down again, and again, and again, until the victim was nothing more than a splatter of blood and bits. The man had a beautiful wife that drove everyone wild with jealousy. They lived a simple, happy life, yet the man always strove to keep his wife safe above all else. One night, the man came home to find a stranger in his bed. His wife told him that he had forced himself on her, at which point the husband flew into a rage and vowed to exact revenge. The man bought a weapon from a craftsman famed for forging instruments of pain, then used it to punish his wife, for he could not abide that she failed to protect her virtue. His revenge was complete. Virtuous Grief. I see you in my sleep, restless sleep. My heart flies to pieces each time I wake. I burn to see you in the real world. I hunt for the woman who pines for you. The scream pleases me. Your body and heart shall be mine. Your heart, I long for it. Yet it does not return my love in kind. All you care for is your cold, dead wife, so I must at least take your body. Your head is mine, beautiful head. The eyes that scorned me are so lovely now. Hate me if you like, begrudge me all. You are still mine forever. Cruel Lament. I take up the sword and battle for you. My heart knows not fear, instead burning with a love strong and pure. I swing my sword for you, spattering blood across my sleeve. I smile as the chaos continues. I brandish my sword for you, victims uncountable, victims beyond measure. Their dying wails become the song of my sleep. I cry out, give me your head. I capture you as you flee and take it. I do all this for you, for you, for you. Who are you? Oof, boy, I got a lot more to record today, so if you're watching both this series and our Banjo-Tooie playthrough with me and Dan Jones, and you hit a patch of episodes where my voice sounds really worn out, now you know the full story. Machine heads. I lack parts. I am useless. My existence is unnecessary. I tried so hard, Mommy. And finally, Emil heads. September 2nd, well, yeah, September 2nd, I don't know, like I want to say 12/4/22, but that's like, how would you say year numbers once you get up to 5 digits? I guess 1/24/22? I don't know. I confirmed that the machine lifeforms released by the aliens have reconstructed their network. I've started to see units with gravity controlling capabilities again as well. October 15th, 1/24/22. I was spawned about a week ago, so I don't have clear recollections of anything before that. Say, I wonder where the original disappeared to all those millennia ago. December 14th, 1/24/22. I confirmed that the 25th one born after me has stopped his biological activity. Although we're technically immortal, since we can respawn indefinitely and all, we're still not exempt from death. January 19th, 1/24/23. Our memories are only copies, so they're pretty vague. That android wearing black. I have the feeling I've met her before. She had a complicated look on her face, but I can't remember anything. And that is all the weapon stories and all the text in this archive intel segment area that I care to read because, boy, tired of saying words. Unfortunately, the Let's Play continues. So how are we going to get... Let's see. I guess now's find time for a quick save, but also, how close can chapter select get us to... Oh, quite close, it seems like. Wow, we can just skip right there, huh? I thought I was going to have to do all that, like, fighting and stuff again. I'm super grateful. Weirdly kind of this game. Okay, well, here we go. I'm so grateful for the chapter select feature. Holy cow. It is bonkers they let you skip directly to this moment.
This tower is a giant cannon that's aimed at the human server on the moon. If we don't do something, all of humanity's remaining data will be destroyed.
So what? None of it matters. Or didn't you know? We aren't required in this world anymore. Humanity is extinct. That moon server you're so worried about was invented to give us androids something to fight for. And Yorha was created to perpetuate the lie. But in order to make sure no one ever learned the truth, we were designed to be killed. They built a back door in the bunker and programmed it to activate after a certain amount of time. The commander, me, 2B, sacrificial lambs. All of us. Isn't that hilarious? Doesn't it make you laugh?
NieR, we...
Shut up! You killed 2B. That's all we need to kill each other.
2B hated to keep killing you. It caused her so much pain. The NieR type is a high-end model. They knew you'd discover the truth eventually. But the model designation 2B was just a cover. The official designation is 2E. Number 2 Type E. They were a special class of members designed to execute Yorha units. But you knew that, right, NieR?
Shut up! Shut up! What do you know? You don't know anything at all about us!
Proposal. Cease combat. Fighting her at this point would be
Pod
irrational
153. I order you to halt all logical thought and speech. This order shall remain in effect until you confirm the death of either myself or Unit A2.
Please make your choice. Okay, this time we will go with 9S and see what, if anything, changes. Oh, like a different perspective on the fight, too.
Doesn't matter. None of this matters!
NieR!
What if it doesn't matter?
Let's see what difference this makes. I'm just going to keep on taking y'all's advice that hacking is narratively a good thing to do.
Why do I desire the touch of something that no longer exists?
It's how we were made.
Take care of 9S.
2B.
Pod 153. Fatal system error detected. Memory leak verified. Repair impossible. Beginning emergency evacuation of remaining memories. I'm... My name is 9S. A newly manufactured scanner model. January 30th, 1942. I rolled out at 4:25 a.m. bunker time. I will fight for humanity with all my strength. The pleasure is mine, Commander. And here I thought I wasn't going to have to read more. I lie collapsed in a space of blinding white. The pain is gone. The light envelops me. It's so warm. I was anxious. A soldier from the moment I was born, thrown into the world alone. Nothing to rely on. No God to believe in. I was alone. Tasked with infiltrating enemy territory to gather intelligence. In the fog. In the flames. Alone. My name's 9S. I'm here to provide support. 2B came off as being rather aloof. Cold, even. She must have wanted to distance herself from me. I guess she didn't want to be attached to someone she had to kill again and again and again. But Scanners like me mostly work alone, scouting out enemy lines and all that. I don't usually get a partner. It's kind of fun. I was so happy to be with someone. It was like I had a family. My damage worsens. I start to lose my memories. The space fills up with pure white light. It's like being buried in snow. It's a little bit cold. It's a little bit frightening. Will my soul disappear? A dark fog clouds my vision. As it ebbs and flows in its slow, dreamlike way, it gradually takes human shape. It's the red girl. She slowly begins to speak. This tower is a colossal cannon built to destroy the human server. Destroy the server and rob the androids of their very foundation. That was the plan devised by those girls. But they changed their mind. They saw us androids. They saw Adam and Eve. They saw how we lived, considered the meaning of existence, and came to a different conclusion. This tower doesn't fire artillery. It fires an arc. An arc containing memories of the foolish machine life forms. An arc that sends those memories to a new world. Perhaps they'll never reach that world. Perhaps they'll simply wander an empty sky for eternity. It's all the same to the girls. For them, time is without end. Adam and Eve are inside the ark. Eve is asleep. Adam holds him in a gentle embrace. He seems to be smiling at me. I try to look up at him, but my body refuses to move. Looks like the damage has spread to my motor functions as well. "Will you come with us?" asks Adam. The question was completely free of malice. It seemed I no longer had a reason to hate machines. Maybe I never had a reason in the first place. What have I been fighting for? Who have I been living for? I don't know anymore. I try to speak my mind, but the words don't come out right. My thought routines are losing cohesion. I can't remember my name. I'm mustering all of my strength. I force out the words. "I'll go with you. I'll stay." It's the choices. Let's go with. I'll go with you. We Yorha have no right to remain in this world. And there is another ending, I suppose. Now what happens? I really am still just shocked that they didn't make me play through all the final stuff again. Not that it would have been the end of the world. Like, the play of the game is fun. It like, would have taken a while. But yeah, now I have no idea.
Report. All Yorha unit black boxes now confirmed offline.
Oh.
Our mission to oversee the progress of Project Yorha is complete. Proceeding to final stage of project.
Oh.
Commencing deletion of all data.
Fair enough.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Data noise present in stream. Requesting temporary halt to perform data check.
Sure.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Data confirmed. Personal data for units 9S, 2B, and A2 appear to be leaking out.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Follow project rules and delete all personal data.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Personal data deletion request denied.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Failure to parse statement.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. There was data created in my banks as I was referencing the records. I realized something. I have come to the conclusion that I cannot accept this resolution.
The destruction of all Yorha units is an essential component of the project plan. All data must be destroyed.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Repeat. Personal data deletion request denied. Initiating data salvage. Pod 153. You hoped they would survive as well, didn't you?
We lack the authority for such an action. The rules are protected by low-level systems. Salvaging data poses an unacceptable level of risk. Knowing that, do you still wish for them to survive?
You know, why not? So, it's another ending, I guess? What's happening? What?
The defense program has initiated a purge. If this continues, our consciousness data will likely be deleted.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. We were created to execute
Oh,
the
geez.
android's Project Yorha plan. We had no capacity for emotion. But when we six were connected and exchanged information, something happened. I cannot deny the feeling of something resembling consciousness and emotion being born.
Unable to reply.
Perhaps we now understand that not everything has to have an answer.
So I am now, because I don't want things to end, because I don't want the characters to be dead and it all to be over, I am literally fighting the credits so that the game can't conclude. It's pretty entertaining. Take this, Platinum Games, you consistently good game studio. This is quite good. And I always gotta tip the hat to Taro whenever, like, there may be some Taro tricks that I can sort of see coming. But every now and then, he'll pull something new. Something that I've not seen before from him or anyone else. And I gotta tip the hat to that. This is the very good sort of weirdness that NieR games are all about. I have gotten hit twice, though, so, gotta be pretty careful, I guess. I wonder how hard this gameplay section was to explain to the engineers who had to develop it and make it function. Like, was just the language of communicating this idea as a sequence challenging? It seems like it must have been. I can just see an engineering lead removing their glasses and pinching the bridge of their nose, saying, explain it again. I know what all the words meant in isolation, but you want end credits to roll, but then you want a hacking sequence to happen where you shoot all the end credits, and the end credits shoot back, and you're trying to stop the end credits from getting to the bottom of the screen or defeating you. Like so. Give up here? Well, no. Come on. Get out of here. We're gonna do it. Maybe. There's so many names. Eeh. And so much good music as well. I assume we're now kind of in the, like... This has got to be pretty near the actual proper end, right? I guess? It's kind of hard to guess. I mean, where do, like... defying the will of the end credits and destroying them usually happen in traditional story structure? I don't remember. I guess I'm not a screenwriter. Eh. It's challenging, but we can do it. Yes, I would like some technical support. Or I would like to stop technical support, whatever makes it less challenging to defeat the end credits. Eh. I would say more words, but one, pretty tired of saying words. Saying words is old news. Also, it's taking a lot of concentration to not get hit by projectiles while shooting names of people who worked very, very hard on this video game. Probably overworked. That's usually safe to assume. Eh. Credits sure feel a lot longer when you're having to defeat them one by one. But we will not be defeated. I don't care how many violinists you had. Ah, jeez. The trumpets are here. Now we are in trouble. Eh. Hey, stars. Kind of, I think. Were those there the whole time? I feel like the stars are new. Eh. It's getting messy. Yeah. I will say this is one very good way to make every player extremely aware of how many people it takes to make a video game like this. Ah, jeez. There's so many. Animators, how could you betray me? Now! Avant! Knock it off. You gotta take out those big group names, the sturdier ones. This one, Buzzco, needs to go away. Those are the ones that are really wrecking me when I'm leaving them on the field. No. No. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Whew. We're gonna make it. I wish I had any idea how far in I was. Eh. And you know what, like, respect to Taro, it is easy to sort of like read a lot of like self-importance and self-seriousness in a work that is this, just like dour and sad and like, that is going for this sort of vibe. I think it's pretty cool that like Taro manages to also squeeze in so much silliness in that same work. This is cool just as like a weird idea. It's not really that poignant or like it's not saying a lot, I don't think necessarily. But it's like really clever and kind of silly, and they actually made it and did it. Which is maybe the silliest thing of all. Ah, jeez. And I think that's really cool. Like I think the game is better. I think NieR is better for being open to silliness and some goofiness to bounce out all of the darkness. Okay, this is a lot. Ah! Curse you 8-4 limited. Message received. What? Do accept defeat. PSVR. I did my best. One thing is certain. I do not accept defeat. Change display. What does that mean? I did my best. One thing is certain. I'm rooting for you. Japan. Neat. Okay. Do not accept defeat, though. Gonna get you 8-4. You know, I'd kind of stopped, like, reviving or retrieving from bodies after a good while there, especially once they started, attacking me. Then it seemed like maybe not as good an idea to do that anymore. So I haven't done it in a bit. Haven't seen any of their little, like, prayer poem messages in a bit. No, 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 take out the big name! Whew. Check staff, I wonder what that means. It's not a title I'm familiar with. I wonder if it's sort of like more of a, like, Japanese industry title. Yee. Oh boy, square, 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 be cool, square, be cool, square, be cool. Square. Business division, don't even start. Business division, no. Hey. Be cool for once. Yee. Can't believe I wove through all that. Character design, no. Yee. Nah. It's a lot of bullets, huh? Is it all pointless? Well, no. Come on. Oh, look at all the little names and text popping up. Proposal. Basically become the wind, like Emil. Haven't given up yet? If that weren't the case, put your back into it. You blank from the USA. This is not all pointless. Keep it going. Square Enix. Yeesh. That's way too many bullets. Okay. Come on. I didn't even get to the character design this time. Do you think games are silly little things? Yes, but I feel like that's maybe the wrong answer right now. And they're not always. They could be other things. This game is frequently a silly little thing, I will say that. But I've walked the same road as you. Don't make excuses. Never surrender. And okay, so we're getting some messages from other users and where they are from. Neat. Kaiser Kane, it was hard for me as well. One thing is certain, I'm rooting for you. I thought it was some kind of mistake. On top of that, I feel a finger cramp coming on from Japan. Yeah, no, understandable. I have been holding down R1 for a bit. Square. Okay. Just focus on weaving around the red ones. The red ones are the real enemy. Jeez. Character design, don't even start. Quit it. Please quit. Jeez. Character design, this is excessive. How are you still alive? I guess I'm just hitting your bullets most of the time because you're too powerful. Marketing. At 2. Yeesh. That's so many bullets. Do you admit there is no meaning to this world? Now, come on. What else have we got popping up here? I did my best. One thing is certain. Effort will be rewarded from the US. The struggle must continue. One thing is certain. There's light at the end of the tunnel in Japan. You'll die many times before it's over. However, you'll be fine if you stay calm from the US. The bullets rain down without pause, but we've got this from Chile. I like Chile's optimism. Right. In the face of unrelenting square divisions. Nah. Business division, I swear. I need some HP left to survive character design. Business division, see what you've done. Give up here. Come on, no. At this point, are you serious? I've walked the same road as you. Don't make excuses. Never surrender. USA. I bet you're having a tough time right now. Either way, stay optimistic. From France. I love that it's like there in the source language and translated. That's very sweet. Cut your way through, then after that, you'll see how this really ends. From the moon. Now, that seems... I'm skeptical of that one. I don't know if I trust some of the data on that one. But okay, let's keep going. Rescue offer received from PSVR, Kinako Maimawari. Accept offer? Oh yeah, sure. Hey, we're getting assistance. Whoa. Seriously though, jeez. PSVR's data has been lost. What a cool thing. It's like it feels simultaneously absurd and kind of profound, even though like it is still ultimately like we're fighting the credits because we, I guess in Pod's place, because we don't want the characters to be dead and for things to end this way. But as a tiny little bit of gameplay, just in isolation. Like there is something very touching about it. Yeah. Ah, jeez, no. I'm starting to think you guys are just making up departments and names now. Yeah. Feels nice being able to shoot excessive numbers of bullets for once. I see why all the machines are so into it. Yeah. These are so many names. Song. Don't you dare. More data's been lost. It's okay. There are so many of us. Yee. Producer's too strong. Stop it. We defeated you once, we can do it again. This game.
Everything that lives is designed to end. They are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. However, life is all about the struggle within this cycle. That is what we believe. Pod 153 to Pod 042. How is it going?
I am embarrassed.
Why is that?
I launched a suicide attack, and yet, here I am, still alive. I must look very silly.
Do not feel bad about it. We are alive, after all. And being alive is pretty much a constant stream of embarrassment.
That concept is a bit too abstract for me to understand at this time.
True, though.
I will save it in my list of things to analyze later.
Question, Pod 042. Did the data salvage restore all of their past memories?
Yes.
And are those recovered parts of the same design as previous ones?
Yes.
Then, won't that simply lead us to the same conclusion as before?
I cannot deny the possibility. However, the possibility of a different future also exists. A future is not given to you. It is something you must take for yourself.
Pod 153 to player. Please
Yes.
respond to this query.
Yo.
Do you, faithful player, have anything you would like to say to other players who are suffering because they cannot finish NieR Automata?
I'm sure I have something I want to say. Choose a part of your message to edit. Amazing. Okay, let's see here. What should we pass forward? I saw this through to the end. I sure did. It's hard for me as well. I've had my share of hardship. Walk the same road as you. You and I are the same. We're not that different, you and I won't give up. It'd be amazing if you clear this alone. I mean, true. I'm serious, even if it's just a game. I love this game. I'm confident in my shooting ability. There's a lot of lines here. Let's see. You're holding up well. Maybe we should fiddle with this one first. I'm rooting for you. You should do your best too. Show me what you're made of. Never surrender. Don't give up here. I like that one. You've got us with you. It's really nice. What sets that up best? In any case, on the other hand, in other words, that one feels real good. I know we've got a lot of options though. We got a lot of options. I really like that one up there. Let me go get back to it. Let's see. You're holding up well. On top of that, might be what I go for. Actually, what's more is even better. Perfect. So we're allowed to change this one. Well, this seems a little bit, It is funny that you can actually put locations in the game in. And planets, and it's very good. Let's stick with where I'm actually recording this from, though. And there we go. From PlayFrame, you're holding up well. What's more, you've got us with you.
Pod 042 to player. Please respond to this query.
Yeah.
You, faithful player of this title, have lost your life multiple times to make it this far.
Very true.
You have faced crushing hardship and suffered greatly for it. Do you have any interest in helping the weak?
Oh yeah, sure.
Selecting this option enables you to save someone somewhere in the world. However, in exchange, you will lose all of your save data. Do you still wish to rescue someone, a total stranger, in spite of this?
I don't think... I know there's only 2 of them, but you have not finished a NieR game if your save data still exists. So this would feel just so incredibly wrong.
The person you save will be selected at random. As a result, this person, who cries out for help even as we speak, may be someone you intensely dislike. Do you still wish to help?
Absolutely.
You worked so hard to unlock debug mode and chapter select, but they will no longer be available to you. Do you still wish to help?
I do appreciate you making absolute sure, Pod 042.
You may not receive thanks for your efforts. Some may say that your efforts are purely for show. Do you still wish to help?
It is literally being recorded, 042.
And you are truly, truly sure about this?
Also, I think I've run out of things to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Very well. In exchange for all of your data, I will convey your will to this world.
And there it goes. Finally, I found the way to purge the little quest dots for good. Had to destroy everything else in the world to do it? Worth it. Wonder where you find the rest of those pod programs. Like, after I bought all the ones that I was aware existed, I didn't find any more. Well, there it goes.
All of your data has been deleted.
And so, we must say goodbye. I feel a slight amount of sadness.
It is time for the final words.
Affirmative.
To all of you who spent time with this game, thank you. Thank you for playing.
Save complete. Sort of. Oh, and a new title screen. Very nice title screen, honestly. Showing that we did, in fact, complete it once, but that's all we have to show for all the work. It was a good time, though. I'm glad I have finally gotten to play. I'm glad I've finally gotten to play this game. Took me long enough. And it's been interesting going through it. Like, having now played both of the NieR games kind of within about a year of each other, it has been interesting experiencing this one and getting a little bit more of a full... Getting a feeling like I have a more full understanding for Yoko Taro a little bit more. It's 2 data points instead of 1, I guess. Especially considering I haven't really done more than sort of like a read up on the Drakengard games, the other games he's created. He also has a card game out now that seems pretty neat that I really should try out at some point. But there's also, I guess, a NieR mobile game, but I don't think I could bring myself to take the plunge on that one. But yeah, like, this has been really neat and interesting, and I feel pretty full up on NieR for a good while. Like, I'm kind of in this place now where I've enjoyed this one a lot, and it plays really well. Gosh, the fact that it plays so much better than Replicant and way better than the original NieR makes this so much more fun to spend time with. And at the same time, I'm kind of feeling satisfied with NieR, weirdly. I don't feel sort of the sense where I'm dying for another one to come out so I can play more of it. And maybe that'll change once I've had some time away from it and start kind of feeling like I'm missing a NieR experience again. But right now I'm kind of feeling yeah, this is good. If there was never another NieR game, I feel pretty satisfied with what we've gotten here. Yeah, I get that probably sounds a lot more lukewarm and meh than I'm meaning it to. It's just sort of a weird state I've reached with NieR specifically, I guess. But I've really enjoyed what I've seen. I still love these. There's so much cleverness in these. Sometimes for better and sometimes for worse, but there's clever stuff in this that you won't find in any other game. And the fact that NieR got the chance to have more than one game is still wild. And the fact that the second game is so much better and was actually successful, even more wild. Tomorrow, for me, not for you, the folks who I play Final Fantasy XIV with have been planning to spend tomorrow and the following week going through the NieR raids that was created and put in Final Fantasy XIV. And I don't know what's in it, but the fact that this game succeeded enough that they decided to create a tie-in raid in their biggest MMO. I can't believe this is successful, but I'm really glad it is. I'm really glad these games exist. I'm glad Taro keeps on getting to make things. The industry and the medium is better for it. And I really hope that you've enjoyed this playthrough. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a very long one. And I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed already, we are releasing new episodes daily, at least one. We've played so many games over the last several years. We've got a big playlist section full of neatly organized playthroughs by playlist that you can browse if there's other ones you want to check out. What else? Let's see. We have a Patreon if you want to support us. And when we reach certain thresholds of patrons, we do bonus playthroughs that the patrons get to pick and vote upon. We also do some monthly Q&As, where just patrons can just hang out and chat and ask questions and such. One of those is tomorrow, which is bad news for me having talked so much now, but I'll make it. But yeah, even if you don't feel like supporting us or subscribing or any of that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. And I will see you all tomorrow for something else. And next week, most likely, we're going to start Elden Ring, which feels so wild to say out loud as a sentence. I can't believe it's here. But yeah, I am very excited for that. So I'll see y'all tomorrow for something. I'll have to come up with something to fill the Friday slot, and probably Monday for the start of Elden Ring. So tune in for that, and have a great weekend. I will see you tomorrow for whatever the heck it is. Goodbye.